Hi everybody, I'm Greg Fishel. Welcome to bonus weather video number 1 for this week. I'm recording this one day early because I will be traveling tomorrow. It'll be a little bit difficult to crank out both a daily update and a bonus video, so I'm doing this one day early, and not a bad thing to be one day early, right? All right. Okay, so we're going to talk about the El Nino update. We have the data in now through the month of November, and I found a very interesting correlation with the previous winter that I want to share with you. It's not anything that I'm like 100% confident of because, history doesn't always give you an indication of what's going to happen this time around. But sometimes it can. So let's go on ahead and take a look at this now and have some fun with it, if nothing else. And we will begin with taking a look at the sea surface temperature anomalies. Anomaly is simply a fancy word for comparing it to the long-term average. So on November 8th, this is the equator. That's what EQ means, right along here. And these are the above normal water temperatures all along the equator in the Pacific, all the way out to the international date line. And this is what it looked like on November 8th. And then 3 weeks later, you can see that things filled in a little bit. Those darker red colors are more solid now. And there's even a little bit of a darker red showing up there not too far east of the date line. So the sea surface temperature anomalies are increasing more and more above normal, which means the El Nino is strengthening as well. Now, here is a time series that I plotted in Microsoft Excel, and it basically goes back 10 years to the month, okay? And so the reds are positive anomalies or El Ninos, the blues are negative anomalies, which are La Ninas, and you can see the super El Nino that we had back here from 2014 going into 2015 and even 2016. And then there were some minor ones, and then we had 3 winters in a row with La Ninas in here, and now we've totally reversed things, and we're now up into the middle of the strong category. And if we go up more, the ONI values, the Oceanic Nino Index, if it goes up 0.2 more, then we'll be into the very strong category. Okay, so these are the last 13 overlapping 3-month periods, and that's the way they do this. They take a look, let's say you're starting with January. So you have January, February, March, and you have an average for that period. Then you go February, March, April, and then March, April, May. And so these 3-month periods are overlapping. And so this is what it has looked like over the past 12 months. And you can see that the ONI value last September, October, November was at -1 when we were still in a La Nina, and then it went up a little bit, and then the increases started to increase in magnitude a little bit. And by the time we got to April, May, June of this year, we were at plus 0.5, and the definition of an El Nino is you have to have 5 consecutive overlapping 3-month periods of 0.5 or more to officially classify it. So we reached that by the end of October, and the most recent values that have just come out have us at plus 1.8. So we continue to increase at about a rate of 0.2 to 0.3 every month. Now, I want to show you 1971 into 1972, okay, same 12-month period leading into the winter of 72-73. Look how amazingly similar this is. Starting off at minus 0.9, and we were at -1, and then 1 and 0.9, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.7, 0.4, 0.4, and then the increase is a little bit bigger here than it is with our current situation. But look at this, by the time we get to April, May, June, we're 0.5 here, 0.7 here, 0.8 here, 0.9 here, 1.1, 1.1, 1.3, 1.4, 1.6, 1.6, and 1.8, 1.8. I mean, and that is the only winter going back to 1950, the only 12-month period that's even close to what we have right now. Now, there was another time that we were in a strong El Nino, I think it was 87, 88, but the values were decreasing during that period of time. And so I discounted that, okay? I'm purely looking at the ones where we're a strong El Nino and we're increasing, okay? So what happened in those years? Well, or that winter. Now, the winter of 72, 73, I remember vividly because I was still in high school in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I would watch this show, weather show from Penn State, and they would keep saying, Yeah, there's another storm coming out of the Gulf, and there's a 50-50 chance of it coming up the coast, and none of them ever did. And so this was a mammoth snowstorm across the deep south, February 9th to 11th of 1973, over 1.5 feet here in Georgia, almost 2 feet. In fact, one place did have 2 feet in South Carolina, and amounts of a foot or more all the way up the coast of North Carolina. Now, Raleigh was on the northwestern fringe of that, but they still got over 4 inches of snow. So that was just an amazing event. And look, traces of snow all the way down into almost central Florida, okay? So it was an amazing winter for the South in that regard. Now, what happened in Philadelphia and the Triangle? And you may be asking yourself, why do I care about Philadelphia? Well, you will after I make this point. Philadelphia had no measurable snow, nothing, that entire winter. They had several traces, flakes in the air, but no measurable snow. That's the only time that's ever happened in recorded history, okay, in Philadelphia. And the biggest snowstorm that we got in Lancaster that winter was October 19th. It wasn't even the winter yet, okay? And I was thinking to myself, oh boy, if we're getting snow in October, this is gonna be a great winter. Wrong. It turned out to be a total joke, okay? Now, what happened in the Triangle area that winter? We had 11.3 inches of snow split up among 3 different events. January 7th and 8th of 73, 6.4 inches. February 10th, in the middle of that big southern snowstorm, 4.5, and then just a little bit of icing on the cake, March 21st, with 0.4 inches of snow. And there are your credits. So, if the weather mimics the weather in the winter of 72-73, the way the oceanic Nino index values are being mimicked this year compared to 71-72 leading into the winter of 72-73, if it's a copy and paste scenario, we're in great shape if you're a snow lover, okay? But it's only one case, okay? And you think about this, when your sample size is that small, chances are that it's not going to be duplicated. There's going to be at least some sort of variation on a theme there. But I at least wanted to give you some hope, okay? That wouldn't it be something if we ended up getting a similar amount of snow and a similar pattern to what we had back in 72-73. We'll see. All right, there are your credits. That is the bonus weather video for this Monday. And we'll have the next one coming up for you on Wednesday, the next daily weather update, perhaps a little abbreviated tomorrow because I'll be traveling, but I'll get something out to you late in the afternoon. All right, folks, you have a great Monday evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.